think of one thing in a university, the one unique thing that makes a university different from all other organizations, is that we are the only organization of any type that brings together people from so many disciplines who are at the front edge of their disciplines, at the front edge of knowledge that their disciplines have to bring to bear on problems, but who are pushing the boundaries on and creating new knowledge. And we're the only organization that has all that capacity in one place. And I think we're best and uniquely poised then to deal with the big problems of the world. Well, I think that that's our obligation, is to figure out how to make that happen. A big part of that are, of course, our people. It's not just the topics that we take on, it's the people we have here. So it's bringing the right people, the right problems, with the right perspectives to the table as teams, but working very closely with our students, who I think are really the energy that drives us. In fact, a student of ours, one of my favorite students from years ago, said to me at one point when he was graduating, he said, "Never forget that students are your most renewable source of energy." And I actually believe that. You think of the flow of the students that gets renewed every 4 years in a university with the excitement, the creativity, the energy, the perspectives that they come from around the world. And they are the fuel that drives the engine that is our research, and of course they take the benefit out of the programs that we create for them. But the difficulty that we have as a university is how to break down the silos between the disciplines and these silos that hinder the true potential that a university has. And I think this is what institutes are uniquely positioned to do. An institute is something that cuts across disciplinary boundaries. I deeply respect the foundational disciplines, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, architecture, policy, political science, you name it. They are all really incredibly important disciplines. But to truly unleash their potential, you have to figure out how to bring them together. So what an institute does, as compared to, say, a department in a school that is entirely focused on their discipline, it is uniquely able to pull people from different places and bring them, to orchestrate them to actually work in teams on key problems. And that's where TISED comes in. Because TISED, one, is an institute that can tap into the potential of a university spread across multiple disciplines in a faculty and elsewhere, and bring other partners to the table. But it's actually also positioned to be very focused on the real issues of the world, the wicked problems of the world, and sustainability is one of them. And all of us in our Faculty of Engineering, whether it be architects, whether it be urban planners, whether it be engineers, have a key role to play when it comes to sustainability. We are ultimately responsible for the technologies of this world, the built environment, etc. We are the contributors to that. We have failed miserably, I think, in our respective areas in the past, and we have a commitment to make sure that we undo the damage of the past and work in a very positive way going forward. So I guess I'd like to just say is that TISED, in its infancy, starting after Rampanda's gift and then building on that with the generous support of the Trottier family, has created an incredible structure that has shown its worth. We've gone over 10 years effectively from an initial director to a very large fraction of our population. I think we have almost 60 professors in our faculty who are affiliated in some way with TISED. That is immense when you think of the 160 professors that we have across our faculty. But beyond that, the students that are now involved, that are directly involved in the work that we're undertaking, in particular strategic areas that we've chosen where we say we have the capacity at McGill to make a difference. And we're giving our students a unique opportunity to actually benefit from that experience and, of course, prepare them to enter the world. Beyond that, the Trottier Institute has not only brought together those academics and their students, but has enabled us to bring visitors from around the world to come here to share their expertise and to actually help us shape our work and the plans we have going forward. They come here to share their expertise through symposia and all that, which is really triggering from our creative point of view. It has brought to us McGill scholars who otherwise wouldn't be here. So, for example, Lakshmi Sushima, who's our Trottier chair, Sarah Jordan, who joined us as part of the development of our new master's program. These people who are incredibly valuable to us would not be here, and we all benefit from their presence and interactions. TISED has also made it possible for us to undertake projects that may otherwise never have happened. And it's actually created through seeding opportunities. It created collaborative initiatives that can then go off and seek their own funding to work on their own steam independently of TISED or within TISED itself. And of course, we've enabled our students to be involved in our work through the fellowships that we provide in support of graduate students, but also our Summer Undergraduate Research Experience Awards as an initiation of research on the part of our undergraduate students to get involved in critical areas in their own disciplines, but through the lens of sustainability. And now we have a growing base of alumni, people who we have trained, who have left this university, who have gone into all circles of the world, locally, provincially, nationally, internationally. And I actually truly believe that the biggest return on investment for an institute is the experience that we give to shape our students that equip them to go out in the world and make a difference to their careers. This is a benefit that just keeps repeating over and over and over. There is no better investment that we can make as a university. So all I got to say at this point is that TISED has become an incredibly important integral part of the Faculty of Engineering. It's an integral part of the university itself. And effectively, it's a foundation stone upon which we will build the next century of not only our Faculty of Engineering, but the university. And we owe a debt of thanks to the Trottier family and to, of course, all the other donors. Grand Panda is one, but many, many others who have used and taken advantage of or offered their support to TISED to make a difference in their own way through the world. So thank you all of you for the incredible contributions that you've made. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jim. We'll keep going. So I'd like to now introduce 3 past and current students who've participated in TISED programs to share some of their comments. I'll start with Keena Travel. Keena is now Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering at McMaster University. So Keena was a PhD student here under the supervision of my colleague, Associate Director of TISED, Jeff Bergerson. As a graduate student, Keena took courses and TA'd for them and later taught a course at TISED. She was one of our SED Talks Changemaker speakers in 2018, and she has since launched a brilliant academic career. Welcome, Keena, and thanks for coming all the way from Hamilton.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction. It's my absolute pleasure to be here this afternoon to talk about TISED and its impact that it's had on me. What wasn't mentioned in that lovely introduction is that I'm very newly minted as an assistant professor of mechanical engineering at McMaster University. And I can draw a straight line between the opportunities and my experiences under TISED and the position that I hold now. I like to think about TISED as a scaffold for dedicated and brilliant and exceptional individuals to build upon. And one of those individuals, I don't want to, there's a lot of them in this room, but there's one I'm going to highlight, and it is my PhD supervisor, Jeff Bergerson. And he did a couple of things while I was a student here that have had a massive impact on me. And one of them was developing this energy analysis course. This energy analysis course filled a very important gap in the engineering curriculum here. It's now part of the core offering of the master's program, and it's now also reached beyond TISED and McGill because I've taken part of that course to create a new course at McMaster University on energy storage. So you can already see how TISED is reaching beyond the institute. The other important thing, and this was mentioned, is the SED Talks Changemakers program. In this program, graduate students are trained on how to talk about their research to non-nerds. And my SED Talk video has become my de facto calling card. I've had all sorts of people reach out based on seeing this video, and people from potential graduate students to collaborators, industry people, even media have reached out on the merit of this. I also recently learned that part of the reason I was shortlisted was because the hiring committee all went off on their own and watched this video because it was on my CV. And so I've spoken very selfishly about how great TISED has been for me, and I'm just one person. I want to just draw attention to the other change makers throughout the years, some of whom I see in the room now. Students who've taken these SEED courses, the students who will graduate from the master's program that's starting now. In 10 years, TISED has already had, and I'm confident in saying this, a global and profound reach. And I'm so excited to see what comes next. So I'm just going to end today by saying a big congratulations on a brilliant first decade. Thank you.
Thank you, Kina. Our next speaker is Mohammed Awadallah. Yes. Hi, Mohammed. So Mohammed is a PhD candidate in electrical and computer engineering, working under the supervision of Professor Francois Bouffard. Professor Bouffard is the John Bishop and Family Faculty Scholar at TISED. So please.
So hi everybody, it's a pleasure to be here. This is me, Mohammed Awadallah, PhD student under the supervision of Professor Francois Bouffard in Electrical and Computer Engineering Department. I have been conducting research that focus on addressing the uncertainties associated with the generation of variable renewable energy in the context of large-scale power systems. My research endeavors have been possible through the generous support of the John Bishop and Family Faculty Scholar Award. During my master program at the University of Manchester, United Kingdom, I had the opportunity to explore various academic disciplines related to the sustainable power engineering. And this experience instilled me in a genuine passion for sustainable electricity system and strong aspiration to become an expert and leader in this field. When the time came to the to pursue a PhD, it was evident to me McGill was the right choice due to its global reputation for research excellence. And I have always believed that my efforts could have a positive impact on humanity and society, thus giving me profound purpose to my life. And this belief has been further fueled by the distressing fact that approximately 61% of the population in my home country of Sudan, located in Africa, lacks access to electricity. Enrolling at McGill University affords me a remarkable opportunity to contribute towards my goals, leading to the advancement of a prosperous society. And upon the completion of my degree, my objective is to engage in a consulting work, aiding in the resolution of challenges associated with the energy transition towards a clean, electrified, and sustainable economy. I must acknowledge that this ambition would not be attainable without the support I received as a student. The John Bishop and Family Faculty Scholar Award enables me to dedicate my full time and effort to my research and academic work, alleviating the burden of financial concerns. I'm really grateful to Bishop family and all the donors who make it possible for students like me to pursue and achieve our goals, ultimately shaping a more sustainable future for the next generation to come. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mohammed. Our next speaker is Amanda Del Balso, a master's thesis student in civil engineering, who I've had the pleasure of working with over the last year. Amanda.
So, hello everyone, I'm Amanda. I completed my undergraduate degree here at McGill in civil engineering just last fall. Now I'm 1 semester into my graduate studies and I'm pursuing a Master's of Science in civil engineering under Professor Ghoshal. As you've heard, I'm here to speak about my experiences with TISED, but more specifically with the Summer Undergraduate Research and Engineering Program, or SURE for short. And when I was trying to come up with things to say today, I was kind of remarked to myself how ironic it was that I spent 2 whole summers as a SURE student, because when I started my experience here at McGill, I was extremely unsure of myself and my academic path. Going into university, I had a vague idea of what I wanted. I knew I liked chemistry, the environment, sustainability, but at the time, these were mostly just open-ended concepts that I had no idea how to apply in real life. I chose civil because the curriculum was extremely diverse, and I was hoping to find a sort of specialization that would impassion me. But after my first couple of semesters, I started to worry that maybe the program wasn't for me. a lot of the classes were tailored towards specializations that I didn't necessarily care for, or they just didn't really cover the topics in sustainability that I was hoping to learn about. The first time that I felt like actually validated by my choice of degrees is when I pursued my first SURE internship in the civil department, working on innovative solutions for wastewater treatment. However, I really found my stride the next year when I started working on a nano-agriculture project with the Gauchal group. The project was focused on formulating nano-sized fertilizers for the environmentally compatible delivery of nutrients to plants, and it was funded by a TISED SURE award. It was under the guidance of my incredible mentors, coupled with my experiences with TISED talks and events, that introduced me to a whole new side of environmental engineering that I really fell in love with. Now I'm continuing my studies working on the optimization of nanofertilizers, bolstered by the knowledge and skills that I acquired during my time as a SURE student. And I'm forever grateful for receiving the Farino-Remillard SURE Award for Sustainable Engineering that year in support of my research. And oftentimes I get asked, mostly by my older relatives, where I plan on taking this whole nano-agriculture thing. And the truth is, I'm still not quite sure. I'm very excited by the idea of taking my skills to industry, but I'm also equally enticed by the idea of doing a PhD. But what's so different from 4 years ago when I started here at McGill is that this uncertainty isn't necessarily coming from a place of fear or lack of understanding anymore. It's coming from this newfound perspective that there's always going to be a place for work like mine in the world. And I think that's the most profound gift that my TISED award gave me, though the money was very nice as well. On that note, I'd like to thank TISED and the generous donors for providing opportunities for students like me to really find their passions here at McGill. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda, Mohammed, and Kina for those very nice comments. It's very assuring to know that we're doing a few things right. Next, I'd like to invite Laurent Trottier to share some of his comments.
Thank you, Subhasis. Yeah, I'd like to thank Subhasis and the other key people in the TISED, Laxmi Sushama, who's the Trottier Chair, Jeffrey Burkhortson, who's the Associate Director, and Monica, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name right here, Kozneski, who's the manager of the Institute. J'aimerais aussi remercier Normand Mousseau, Louis Baumier et d'autres membres du le IET, l'Institut Énergie Trottier à Polytechnique, qui a été fondé en même temps que TISED et un genre de sister institut sœur de TISED d'être ici aujourd'hui. Merci beaucoup. I'd also like to give a very special thanks to Ram Panda, who was the one who played a key role in suggesting the idea of TISED and getting me interested in helping to fund this thing. So over the past 10 years, TISED has been quite active in a number of areas. I just went over the website this morning, and here's a kind of a brief summary of the many things that TISED has been involved in. So start off, it's been playing a key role in introducing sustainability concepts into the engineering curriculum here at McGill, including what they call the CAD courses and the new Master of Engineering degree in sustainability. It's provided research funding for 3 faculty scholar awards. It's provided funding for a scholar in residence, who's one of my longtime friends, Bruce Laurie, who helped me get the Trottier Foundation off the ground and involved in climate issues. And there's also the McLeod family. It established something called the McLeod Faculty Award, and so on. So that's on the research side. We just heard from some students that one of the things that the TISED has done is provided opportunities for students to learn how to do public speaking and how to communicate ideas, in particular in areas having to do with sustainability. And I think we've seen some evidence that that's done some good things. TISED has also been active in hosting an annual symposium here on sustainability issues, as well as a series of seminars and during COVID webinars on the theme of sustainability. It's covered a wide range of topics. Just a couple of examples: decarbonizing cement and concrete production, and how to assess the life cycle of products and the impact of the life cycle of products on the environment. It's just a couple of the topics. I actually myself gave a talk that's been put on the website, in which I gave my own personal perspectives on issues like the human progress, the progress of human society since the start of the Industrial Revolution, and its kind of spillover effects into our modern era with climate change as a major issue. Just to recapitulate some of the points I made in that talk, which you might find interesting. Since the Enlightenment over the past 200 years, something that many people don't appreciate, that the media doesn't really give much attention to, is the fact that there have been major improvements in the human condition in the last 200 years. So, for example, on life expectancy, in the year 1800, average life expectancy worldwide was 30 years. But in 2018, which is the year before I gave that talk, the last year I had statistics, it was 71 years worldwide. And in industrial countries, it was 81 years. So from 30 years to 71, 81 years, that's a huge improvement in life expectancy. In terms of poverty, extreme poverty, according to the United Nations statistics that I did some research on, in the year 1800, 90% of the world's population lived in extreme poverty, whereas in 2018 it was down to 12%. And in terms of education and literacy, in the year 1800, 12% of the world's population could read and write. And in 2018, 83%. So these are dramatic improvements. And I credit that mainly to science and technology. Science and technology has really lifted living standards everywhere. Even though it's not been uniform, there's still a lot of problems around. But the other negative side of all this is that we're currently facing issues of climate change and sustainability that threaten to undo, all this progress. And I am by nature a technology optimist, and I think that science and technology has already developed and is in the process of developing sustainable solutions to all these problems. They do exist, and more better solutions are coming out all the time. The biggest challenge facing us today is science denial and political polarization. Those are the biggest obstacles we face. So the recent COVID pandemic was a kind of a warning. So, there was, as you're sure you're all aware, there's been widespread, vaccine denial and conspiracy theories regarding COVID. And if we take a look at the United States, this has led to a large number of what could have been preventable deaths. So in the US, there's been over 1 million deaths from COVID. And on a per capita basis, compared with Canada, that's like 700,000 excess deaths. If the United States had followed, even though Canada is far from perfect, if they had followed the same policies as we did here, there'd be 700,000 Americans alive today that are not. It's pretty dramatic. So the fact that over such a recent thing, with climate change and sustainability issues, we have a similar problem of public perception and dealing with the problem seriously. Just yesterday, my wife sent me an article that appeared on the CBC website in French about a global public opinion survey that was published in France, sampled 24,000 people worldwide on issues, about climate change and sustainability issues and so on. And the numbers in that survey are somewhat discouraging. It showed that only 40% of people placed environment as one of their top concerns, as their top concern. A lot of people are getting used to hearing bad news, like we have all these fires going on in Canada and smoke and everything. People are getting depressed. What can we do about it? And so it's leading to a certain passivity. And there's also been a significant, according to this study, increase in climate denial. According to this survey, in 2019, 28% of respondents were climate deniers. In 2022, that was up to 37%. And in Canada, the number is 35%. And, so one of the things that was in that article that I found kind of shocking, conspiracy theorists, some anyway, are blaming the forest fires raging across Canada on climate activists. It's crazy. So this is, unfortunately, we also have leading political parties in both the US and Canada who may well form the next government, who would eliminate pretty much all the actions that have been taken so far to deal with climate change and even want to promote greater use of fossil fuels. So all this highlights the urgent need for organizations like TISED to become much more active, both in the public opinion, trying to swing public opinion, and in the political domain even. So on this 10th anniversary of TISED, the need for TISED and the need for action is greater than ever. We should try as hard as we can to bring those changes about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lauren, for those very thoughtful words. Before raising a toast to celebrate our 10th anniversary, and you may want to grab a glass or fill your glass if it's empty, I'd like to thank a few people without who we could not have accomplished as much. I think they'll come around with the glasses, so you don't need to all queue up there. So first of all, I'd like to thank the TISED office staff who really do the heavy lifting. Thank you, Monica, Parisa, Irene, and Gary, for all your dedication. There are also so many staff members at the Dean's Office and at University Advancement to thank as well for their support to TISED. Department chairs and school directors, thank you for all your support for the various TISED initiatives and your collaboration. I'd like to thank Dr. Bruce Lowry, our present scholar in residence, for the very insightful workshops and lectures he's been sharing with us on really plotting out Canada's pathways to achieving net zero goals in the next decade or so. That's been very, very interesting for us to have you here. It's been a pleasure to collaborate with the Institut de l'Énergie Trottier and work with its director, Professor Norman Mousseau, and on organizing the Trottier Annual Symposia and several other initiatives that we've done jointly. It is immensely rewarding and enlightening to work with Professor Lakshmi Sushma, the Trottier Chair in Sustainability Engineering and Design, who's our climate modeling and climate adaptation expert. It's been wonderful collaborating with Professor Jack Bergthison, who's the Associate Director of TISED. Over the years, we've worked together in various initiatives. Thank you, Jeff, for making programs such as the SED Talks a great success, really putting it on the map. And Professor Sarah Jordan joined us recently, and she's enthusiastically started working on administering the new TISED Master's program and teaching courses. And last but not the least, the TISED members and associate members. We are a group of 60+ professors who contribute so much to their teaching, research, seminar talks, workshops, and reach out on behalf of TISED to researchers and engineering and design professionals on campus and beyond our campus. There's much work to be done ahead, and we look forward to working with the support of our next dean, Professor Vivienne Yargeau. In terms of work to be done ahead, I guess the master's program looms big, the launch of our new master's program in sustainability. This will be a really interesting endeavor, given it's sort of the first of its kind of program in Canada, and there are very few programs like this anywhere else in the world. And it's different because it takes a broad, multidisciplinary perspective on teaching sustainability, rather than the traditional approach of teaching sustainability through a specific discipline. So there's a big shift here. There's much to be done on so many sustainability challenges. Climate change looms large on our minds, but challenges such as resource scarcity, biodiversity loss, environmental degradation through pileup of waste, pollutants, plastics, you name it. They're all significant. They are all interconnected, but also unique challenges in many ways. So we will work with utmost dedication on finding meaningful solutions through collaborative research and discussion among various disciplines. And really learning to collaborate and learning to collaborate well is what we will strive for. So with that, I would like to toast to TISED's 10th anniversary and the many bright years ahead. Cheers. Cheers. So I guess we're done here. I believe we have a cake cutting ceremony here, so we can all move up over there. Thank you.